Hi, I'm Aram. I'm a broker associate with Coldwell Banker Hallmark Realty, and once again, welcome to my second podcast. Today, I have a fellow guest, Violet Markarian, a fellow, I should say, realtor guest, which we've been discussing what's been going on with the LA County's assessor's office with some of this inadvertent and incorrect reassessments. And today, Violet has some questions for me that felt since I've been through the process as of June of 2023, I may be able to shed some light on what I've personally experienced, and perhaps you people might be able to take this away. And if you're in the unfortunate situation with inadvertent reassessment, you might have a better idea that what could be done. So again, I'm just expressing my own personal experience. So, Violet?
So, tell us about when your mom passed away, what happened to your property tax?
Okay, that's a very valid question. And so, unfortunately, my mom passed away June 15 of 2022. And then my sister and I are the trustees and the beneficiaries of our family trust. So, December of 2022, we filed an affidavit of death which establishes that the trustor has passed away, and then so that we'll be able to have the control of the property. Well, unfortunately, all of a sudden, I get a letter from the LA County Tax Assessor's Office on June of last year. On June, actually, it was May 25th of 2023, advising us that our property has been significantly reassessed. So just to give you an idea, prior to the reassessment of the property taxes, our property taxes, annual taxes, were around $3,770. And then once they reassessed it, this is as of today, I went online and pulled it, the annual has gone from $3,777 to $15,372. However, there is something that called the Proposition 19, which if you are exempt or you feel you are exempt, you can file for an exemption. Well, we are absolutely 100% exempt because one of the rules of the Prop 19 is when it passes from parent to child, one of the children must be living at the property, or I believe move in within the year of the parents passing. Well, my sister has grown up in that property that we own. She's 52 years now, and she's lived there since September of 1980. So what we did go ahead and file. Okay, I personally drove to the assessor's office out in Sylmar, because that's the office.
So you're telling me there is no automatic transfer between parent and children? You have to go through the process that you're telling us.
There is an automatic transfer, but unfortunately, the county assessor's attitude, as I've seen it, or their process, is almost like they shoot first and ask questions later. So this should have never been recessed because they had the copy of the trust. It's very clear it's from parent to child, but I don't know if they don't deal with their documents, they don't read the documents. I don't want to know how the assessor works. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people discount the fact that, well, it's a government entity, well, this and that. I think they should be held accountable just like any other entity, just like private entities. If they make a mistake, they should correct it in a very timely manner. Well, when we filed the exemption paperwork, and I personally submitted this on June 8th, there it is, June 8th, of last year, I've done 6 subsequent follow-ups. And the worst part is that you cannot just show up, set up an appointment, because a lot of people have said this. A lot of people said, well, why don't you drive down there? Well, you first need to be denied, and then you can go and ask for an appeal in person. But otherwise, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to hear about it, And then what's really disturbing to me is the website clearly says that the assessor's office is experiencing significant delays with Proposition 58 and Proposition 19. So if these people are so behind, they are taking taxes from $3,700 to $15,000 a year. they expect to get paid, by the way, because if you don't get paid, they're considering your taxes delinquent. They don't put your taxes on hold until this is resolved.
And you have to pay penalty.
And you would have to pay a penalty. Now, if your taxes are where it should be, if they accept your appeal, you would still pay a penalty on the amount that was due, even though they didn't send you the right tax bill.
Wow.
Okay? So it's been very frustrating. It's been a horrible experience. And you know what's really disturbing, Violet? If someone like myself, who's part of a huge brokerage, and I have so many years of experience as a real estate professional, and we have access to one of the top title companies, access to the top escrow companies, and I've asked questions, and what they are able to do to resolve this problem. But unfortunately, the way the process works with the county assessor's office is they're saying they backed up. So as of today, today's May 28th of 2024, this issue has not still been resolved.
Oh, wow. So tell us, what do you think they should have done? Do you have any idea how this can be done faster, easier?
Yes, I absolutely feel that if they're going to take an assessment to such significant amounts, where people wouldn't even have the payment to make the payments to avoid penalties, because again, their attitude is, you pay me until I decide whether you're exempt or not. Okay, like I said before, they shoot first and ask questions later. If they're so significantly backed up, they should be held responsible, and they should be more conscious of the fact that they're imposing this inadvertent taxes, which, yeah, you can appeal and hopefully eventually it can get resolved. But at the meantime, you're in a limbo. And you know what the of it is, Violet? The of it is, if you're going to sell your property before this amount is resolved, the best case scenario, and I even doubt this, the best case scenario is either the title company or escrow is going to take the amount, hold it until it's resolved. But I've heard from different sources that they may be forced to send the amount in anyways. And then once it's resolved, good luck chasing after the LA County Assessor's Office and trying to get a refund.
Wow.
So, make a long story short, I guess calling them a dozen times, maybe 8 times during the past 12 or 14 months, I subsequently got a letter from them. Okay, the letter is dated, this is incredible. The letter is dated February 29th. And then the envelope is stamped on April 15th. So it's taking them 45 days to send me a correspondence to say that, yes, you guys are exempt. You know, I guess I'm fortunate, you know. However, the tax bill has not been resolved. The tax bill, it's still $15,000 that's lingering. And you know what? They've also done a reassessment going back to my mother's death, which we have not paid that, and that should be basically nullified because they have approved us. But and you know what? What's worse is, for better or worse, I don't think I'm special. I think there are hundreds, probably thousands of people who are in the same shoes as I am. They've got inadvertent reassessment, okay? They've filed the proper paperwork, and then they're in a limbo because they may not be able to sell the property. If they don't have enough equity to pay that exorbitant amount of inadvertent taxes, then they won't be able to sell the property. Okay. So it's and I wanted to do this, and thank you so much for being my guest today and asking the questions. I wanted to make this the subject of my second podcast because I feel very passionate about it. And I think there are a lot of people out there who can benefit from knowing what's going on, and hopefully something can substantially be done about the county assessor's process. When the credit card company is in error or there's been some kind of a fraud and you call them, it takes a few days maybe to resolve it. It's something significant. If there's an issue with your bank, it'll take few days to resolve it, okay? But why should it take more than a year, 14, 16, I've even heard 18 months for something so simple, something so rudimentary to be solved? And the irony is, and the joke is they're supposed to be serving the taxpayers. Really?
So, any last word? If anybody, I know you're not accountant, you're not lawyer, broker. If anybody has any questions, can they call you? Can they ask you? You can give them some,
They could call me. I can direct them the right
exactly, like
direction. I
direction.
think I think a lot of the stuff that I've done, even though I'm a real estate professional, it was just going on different sites, LA County tax assessor sites, Googling about reassessment, what the resolution is. However, I think I should also say one of the times that I did call the assessor, there was an individual. He was very helpful, and I think he directed me to the right direction of what forms to file, how to go about it, and even made the recommendation of having the forms time-stamped in case later they come back and say something like you didn't do it in a timely manner. I have a time-stamped forms, So there are individuals that potentially could help you even if you call the assessor's office, but their process is so screwed up, it's so primitive, that is really to the taxpayer's detriment. Again, especially if the assessment is inadvertent, which is 100% our case. And looks like it's in a process of being resolved, but I have this dilemma. If I have to sell my property before this is resolved, either the title or the escrow has to take that huge lump sum of 17,000 plus the
Penalty.
reassessment of the other year, which might be in a 20-some thousand dollar, and just hand it off to them, and for me to pray that they're gonna send it back one of these days, and I have to chase after that probably. It's just horrible.
Okay.
It's horrible. So, thank you so much for listening to my podcast, and again, hope this has been a educational experience for the audience, and I am, as you've seen, somewhat emotional, but I'm very passionate about how this is being handled, and I think just it's very wrong. I think it's a broken system and needs to be fixed. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience.
And thanks for your time.
Sure.
Hopefully we'll have a better, more happier subjects to
Outcome.
cover.